Welcome to episode 31. My name is Daniel Fernandes. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to give a big shout out to everyone who watched last week's episode and signed the letter to save the flamingos. And if you didn't watch episode 30, that sentence just made no sense to you. You are like, what? There were flamingos in last week's episode? Yes, there were. Anyway, I have some good news. I'm doing a couple of live shows in November. So if you live in Mumbai or Hyderabad, I'm performing in your city very soon. November 15th in Mumbai and November 21st in Hyderabad. Ticket links are in the video description. Go and get them now. These are socially distanced shows. So you'll be seated far away from each other. There will be temperature checks. Everybody's going to be wearing masks. So it's as safe as a public gathering of this size can be. So if you are up for a night of comedy, come, let's hang out. Okay. All right. Let's talk about what happened this past week. And before we do that, one thing, hang on. I want to talk to you about Brooklyn Beckham. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't know, Brooklyn Beckham is one of David Beckham's sons. David Beckham was a very popular footballer, used to play for England and Manchester United. Manchester United is the greatest football club on the planet. Yeah. Anyway, so Brooklyn got engaged recently to an actress and he keeps posting weird photos of them on Instagram with captions that sound more like a conversation that they should be having with each other in private, but they're doing it in front of the whole world. It's very weird, you know. See, I understand that some people post pictures of themselves with their partners along with a philosophical caption about love and finding your soulmate and all that jazz. But what they're really trying to say is, this is the person I'm having sex with. That is different. I understand that. You want to brag a little, you want to flex once in a while, that's okay. But this just makes no sense to me. Celebrities are always just doing really weird things, okay? Like, check out this picture he posted recently. It's a picture of him and his fiancée naked inside a bathtub. And it has a very strange caption. It just says like, happy 1 year anniversary, baby. I'm the luckiest person to have you by my side. I cannot. Okay, it's not cannot. It's cannot. It's one word, okay? It can and not are not two words that have been in a relationship for a very long time and now they need some space from each other. It's one word, buddy. Cannot. I cannot wait to grow old with you and start a family with you. Love you so much. And then she responds, I more than love you, Brooklyn. I'm just looking at how he's framed that caption and I'm thinking, thank God he's rich, okay? Otherwise, this marriage is not going to work out. Okay? It's very important and essential that you communicate, okay? His current sentence formation is not happening, okay? He wants to grow old first and then have a family. No, bro, you need to have a family first and then grow old. When your kids are born, you need to be around, okay? You need to be there for them. You have to feed them, clothe them, educate them, impart wisdom and knowledge so that they can grow up to be adults that disappoint you. That's how it's done, right? You gotta have kids when you're young, man. You know what kind of kids old people have? Orphans. That's what. Like, I like the symbolism of this image. Okay, check it out. Like, there's their picture, this moment that they're having. He says whatever he wants to say to her. She responds. And then in the middle of both of them, there's over 1,000 people going, I feel the internet has ruined the essence of romance. You know, like back in the day, it was very different. You know, you'd be in love and chilling in a bathtub with your fiancé and a photographer. You didn't have 1,000 people that you were sharing this intimate moment with. You know, it was nice. It was just the three of you. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is that this is Brooklyn's Instagram account and he can post whatever he wants on it. Right? You have no right to judge him. Mind your own business. And then I was reading this other hilarious article that popped up in my news feed. Check this out, right? Woman brings 23 family members on blind date to see how generous potential boyfriend was. So here's what happened. This happened in China. Yeah, of course, because where else? Two people went on a date, a guy and a girl, and the girl brings 23 family members along as a way of finding out if her potential boyfriend was generous. hey lady, if you want to find out if your potential boyfriend is generous, ask him to go down on you. And if he stays there for longer than 30 seconds, he is. So they have dinner and drinks or whatever, and then they rack up a bill of that's equivalent to around 2 lakhs. Yeah, 2 lakh rupees. That's crazy, dude. And then the guy finds out the amount on the bill, and he very romantically asked the girl to go fuck herself, and then left the restaurant without paying. And then they later came to an agreement where the girl and her family agreed to pay most of the bill, and the guy took care of the rest. I guess they must have downloaded Splitwise and settled it. But what was this girl thinking? Like, if she was expecting him to pay for 23 family members, then he should have been allowed to sleep with at least 15 of them. I think that's fair, right? Like, I don't know. I think 23 family members are way too much for any gathering, let alone a first date. Okay, like, even if I ever get married and if my fiance invites 23 family members, I will cancel the wedding. Like, the only time 23 family members should get together should be at a funeral, so that they know that it's now 22 family members. I was reading the comments on this, and the people were divided. Okay, some people said that he should have been, a gentleman and paid the bill, and the others said that it's a good thing that he left. I agree with the latter. Okay, if you're on a date, both of you should pay, for the simple reason that it's 2020. But here's a little trick I try. Okay, if I really like the girl I'm on a date with, I insist on paying the bill, and then I go, you get the second date. So that way, like, she has to see me again. If I don't like her, I make sure it's 50-50. I'm like, please, equality and all that. Yeah, and in other news, Donald Trump said India is filthy. At first, I thought he was spending time on Indian Twitter, and then I realized he was actually talking about our air. This happened at the last presidential debate, and I think he and Joe Biden were discussing climate change. When Trump said that, I was hoping Bucks wouldn't get angry and threaten him with rape, because he would actually like that and plan another trip to India. I can't do another round of Doland Trump over here. Hashtag grab them by the lully. But technically he's right, yeah. Like, the air is filthy in most places in the country. Like, we're the fifth most polluted country in the world right now. Also, he's white, so people aren't really going to get too mad at him. When brown people speak the truth about India is when we don't like it. So I think it should be fine. Moving on. Some more violence against women, because why should we let a pandemic slow us down? Check out these two headlines. I'm sure you already know about this. Man shoots dead 21-year-old woman after she refuses to get inside car. A 21-year-old woman was shot dead by a man outside a college in Haryana's Faridabad on Monday after she resisted an attempt by him to force her into his car. Later on, we found out that these two people knew each other, and he was harassing her, and she had filed a case against him, which she then dropped because his parents begged her family to do it. And then eventually he wanted to marry her, and then she refused, and then he tried to kidnap her, and then sadly he shot her, and she died. Then there was another report about a television actress called Malvi Malhotra, who was stabbed thrice by a producer for turning his marriage proposal down. Now, it is important to know that one of the assailants is a Muslim and the other is a producer. Yeah, just so we're all clear. Okay. And it didn't take more than 2 minutes for people to start screaming, "Love Jihad!" And then the second report got reported where the perpetrator was not Muslim, so they didn't know what to say, so they just went with the flow and called it producer jihad. These are identical cases, okay? both these men wanted to marry the women they attacked. In Faridabad, the attacker was Muslim and he allegedly wanted to convert her to Islam. In the case of Malvi, they were both of the same religion, so no conversion was needed. He just had to attack. And if you're going to say that the fact that he wanted her to change her religion angers you more than the fact that he killed her, then you are completely missing the point. By calling it love jihad, you are digressing from the real reason why shit like this happens. Okay, it's because men do not know how to take no for an answer. It's this age old Indian story. I mean, to solve this problem, we will need to take the help of one of India's favorite pastimes, okay? Coaching classes. I think we should start coaching classes for Indian men on how to deal with rejection. There should be an application form that they need to fill where every applicant is compulsorily rejected. Like, that's their first lesson. That just because you want something in life and you filled out a form doesn't mean you will get it. Then after that they apply again and they get selected, and then every class is a discussion of everyday scenarios where the teaching faculty, who's a woman, talks to these men about various instances where women might reject them and how they should behave in these situations. They can have practical sessions as well where the teacher gets to slap these men after she rejects them during the role play. So that way there's learning as well as catharsis. And then after 5 weeks of theory sessions and 50 slaps, each man will get a certificate stating that they know how to take no for an answer, and they can carry this certificate along with them on dates, marriage proposals, job applications, movies, wherever. I know this sounds absurd, doesn't it? I mean, we can always try the good old-fashioned method of raising boys correctly, but then let's face it, who are we kidding? We will need coaching classes for parenting as well. See, this has been happening for a long time. Yeah. Like men can't handle women saying no to them, so they get aggressive, they get violent, and sometimes it gets as extreme as murder. And I don't get what the big deal is about rejection. Like I've been rejected a couple of times. I'm sure you have too. Like nothing happens. Okay, the sun still rises. Nothing happens. Okay, rejection is constant across species. It's not just with humans. Okay, here's a fun fact. Okay, there's a bird called the weaver bird, and when the weaver bird wants to mate, right, it has to build a nest first. And if you've seen any of these nests, they're very complicated, they're very complex to build. They're not like this random bullshit that these crows make. No, it's a proper, like, weaver birds are the Hiranandanis of the bird world. So they build very intricate nest over a body of water, to kind of prevent predators from getting to them and stuff. And that's a lot of trouble. And for this one guy with just his 2 feet and a beak to do, he does it anyway. And then once the nest is complete, he then invites the female to come check it out and inspect it and see if it is to her liking. Okay, and she does that, and if she likes the nest, then she will mate to them, and then they have their eggs and they raise their babies. If she does not like the nest, she will destroy it. She will unhinge it, I guess, from the tree, and it falls into the water. Yeah, think about that. Like, this bitch could have just flown away, but no, she had to destroy the home that he took all the trouble to make. Like, that's how bad rejection is in the animal kingdom. Okay, but think about, with humans, it's not that bad. At the most, she'll say she's not interested and she'll move on. She will not come to your house and burn it down. So just chill the fuck out. What's the big deal? A lot of men, they keep getting stuck after being turned on. This happens a lot when I do AMAs as well. I get a lot of these questions like, man, I really like this girl, but she's friend zoned me. I don't know what to do. How do I move on? How do I get over her? You don't need to get over her. You need to get over yourself. You're not special. Okay, who do you think you are? Brooklyn Beckham? Just drop it. And with regards to this whole love jihad that keeps coming up every other day now in this country, I will say this, okay? I am against forced conversion, and I'm not sure if this happens a lot in Hindu with Hindus. But I've asked around, and apparently it does not. Could be wrong, but I know for a fact that this happens a lot with Muslims and Catholics whenever there is an interfaith marriage. Like for Catholics, for instance, if you want to get married in a church, then the person who's not from the religion must convert and then get baptized for the church marriage to happen. And I just think that's ridiculous. I just think it makes no sense, because you are robbing someone of their cultural and religious identity. Marry the person, not the religion. And as a parent, if you are so rigid and you want your child to marry only within your community, then you should have been a little more ambitious and moved to a country where your people are the majority. Okay. But if you want to live in a country where your community is less than 10% of the population and then insist that your child finds a partner within the same community, then you do not understand how numbers work. Do you know how rarely I meet Catholic women? Now, if I meet one, I take a picture with her, as a memento, and just to show people, I'll be like, hey man, check this out. This is a Catholic girl, okay, very rare and endangered species in India. On the other hand, if someone willingly finds peace in another religion apart from the one that they were raised in, and if they want to pursue that religion, they should be free to do it. Okay, and if you want to throw in a bag of rice, dal, and go and poke sausages as a welcome bonus, why not? But the point I'm trying to make is we need to stop obsessing about religion. Okay, we need to start obsessing about roads. Have you ever driven on a smooth road with no bumps? Why can't that be the most important thing in our lives right now? Roads, guys, come on, we can do this. I get very emotional when I talk about the roads in India. I'm sorry. Anyway, okay. Let me take some questions from people who wrote in. Thank you. I got a few questions from people who wrote in. I like this where you share situations you're in. Don't ask me random things, okay? Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? I want to know what you're going through. So yeah, a couple of people wrote in, and a few wrote in. I'm picking a couple of questions. The first one is from Vanessa Pereira. She says, I would like to know your views on death. See, you know how to get my attention, don't you? This year, there has been more news on deaths than anything else, which has just got me thinking a lot about it. This week, I called one of my friends, and it turned out he was stressed about something. I didn't think it would be anything serious, so I just told him everything would be alright, just calm down and give it some time. Fair. And the next day, his father called to inform me that he had attempted suicide. Ouch. He survived and is currently in recovery, which is awesome, but I just felt like I should have said or done something to prevent it. Okay, this is a heavy question, no doubt. So let me answer it in maybe in one step at a time. Okay, so you would like to know my views on death. Here's the thing, okay, when you're a comedian in India, you think about death every day. I know where you're coming from. I know what you mean. I've been experiencing this too. You suddenly feel that a lot of people are dying around you. Where actually the reality is that people have been dying for a while now. It's been happening for many years. It's just that we weren't paying attention earlier because we were too busy chasing the carrot. What this pandemic has done is it has reminded us of our mortality and how insignificant we are. So now every death hits us harder. And it's even worse because now we're kind of limited with the way we live our lives. That we're all stuck in one particular location. We don't go out as often as we used to. We don't meet people as often. So there is this sense of isolation that magnifies any death that happens around you. I'm sure you're all going through this in one way or another. Like I sometimes feel really stuck. Like I feel like my life just isn't moving at the pace that I was used to, and it's happening with everyone. Now suddenly we are being made to sit down and think about who we are, what we're doing with our lives, and sometimes we don't like the answers. So yeah, it freaks me out too, man, especially when I read about people my age dying. I don't know if this happens to you. I mean, like our age group, that really freaks me out. And I'll be on social media sometimes, and people will post a status update on Facebook, and with a young person. And I don't know if you've noticed this. Whenever there is a status update about somebody's death, the person posting it is always shocked. They'll always say stuff like, "Oh my God, I'm so shocked! I can't believe XYZ is no more. I just spoke to him last week." Well, he was alive last week, na? That's why you spoke to him. Like, try calling him now. If he answers the phone, then that would be shocking news. It's I don't know. I find it damn funny, dude. And every social media post about death, about somebody's death, rather, follows the same sequence of events. Okay, somebody will say XYZ has died, and then everybody will comment "rest in peace." And most of these people don't even know the person who has died, but they just feel the need to say "rest in peace." And I don't know how that makes sense, because the guy who has died is not going to read those comments. There is no Wi-Fi in the afterlife, okay? Like, if there was, it would be really weird though, right? Like, you get to the afterlife, you log into Facebook, and then you reply to all your rest in peace messages, and you just go like, "Hey guys, just got here, all good, thoda jet lag hai. By the way, चूतिया बनाया सबको, Hitler is still alive." I find the easiest way to confront or deal with any sense of fear surrounding death is to laugh at it. So most of my jokes, especially with my friends and whenever I'm hanging around with people, or even by myself, are surrounding death. I think it's just easier to make your peace with it when you can laugh at it. It kind of takes the fear out of it. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, everybody keeps commenting on these status updates, "rest in peace, rest in peace, rest in peace." But you're curious, right? So you'll click on the comments and you look for that one comment that says "what happened," and then you hope that somebody has mentioned what happened, because you want to find out what got this guy, so you can watch the fuck out. See, death is inevitable. Okay, we have no control over it. We don't have any control over when it will happen, how it will happen. The only thing we can do is make the most of every day that that we get to live. So make sure you spend as much time as possible on the internet fighting with strangers. Okay. And as far as your friend is concerned, Vanessa, I hope he's okay now. And I hope he's getting all the help he needs. It's not your fault at all. Do not blame yourself. There is a risk of survivor's guilt when something like this happens. So thankfully, whatever he tried to do didn't work, and he's getting another lease at life. I hope, please make sure he's getting all the help he needs. Seek professional help wherever possible. I hope his family is being super supportive, okay? Because Indian parents do that thing, right? Where they're always comparing. Like, I hope like his dad is not going, yeah, लेकिन आपने तो ये try किया, कुछ हुआ नहीं. वो शर्मा जी का लड़का ने जब try किया ना. Okay, another one. This is from Pooja Palicha. I hope I'm saying that right. Like, "Hey, as much as I love Neo, I would love it if you could talk about the perils of buying a breed cat and how even indie cats are equally amazing. Adopt, don't shop is something people should know about, because the breeding industry is cruel and unethical, right? I would not want people to just see a cute Persian cat and just go buy one because they saw this cutie on your show. Coming from someone like you, people would take you seriously. Please feature your other indie babies here too. Thank you." Okay, first of all, when people say stuff like "coming from someone like you, people will take you seriously," now I get damn nervous, yeah, because I don't want to have that kind of influence on anybody. I just want to entertain people. तो मेरे पे इतना pressure मत डालो. I do agree with what you're saying, Pooja. I do believe in adopt and not shop as well, because yes, the breeding industry is cruel and unethical. Um, but there's a story behind how Neo came into my life. So if you have the time, I can tell it to you. So this was in 2014. I was seeing someone then, and I was never actually a cat person. I mean, I've had pets all my life, but they've always been dogs. I've had this rule that in Bombay, because I live in an apartment, I don't want to get another dog because dogs need space to run, and which my home in Goa has. So it makes sense to have a dog there, but not here. So I always had like a no pet policy in my apartment. But then this girl I was seeing then, she used to live with me for some time, and she kept saying, I want a cat, I want a cat. Can we please get a cat? And I want a Persian cat. And she just kept insisting on getting a Persian cat. So I said, cool, all right, let's get a Persian cat. Because you have to make your woman happy. So we looked around and found this cute little boy, and we went and picked him up. I did have to pay for him because it's a pedigreed animal, so yeah, they are bred for money. And then we got Neo home. He was adorable. And then my friends told me that hey, you're going to be traveling a lot and stuff, so why would you leave him alone? Get another cat. Having two is as good as having one. So I was like, okay, I guess I could do that, but I said I will not buy another cat. I want to adopt this time. If I can give a cat that needs a home, a space to live, I would love to do that. So I contacted World for All Animals, and they had Amber in one of their foster homes, and then we got Amber over the next day. So they joined our family within 2 days of each other, and that's how Amber and Neo came into our lives. That was in 2014. Yeah, that was like 6 years ago. And then a couple of months after Amber and Neo joined our family, my then girlfriend, broke up with me, and then she left, and and we were in this very weird situation, like where neither one of us knew what to do, because this was now a weird custody battle where we have these two cats, and I didn't want to keep them because they reminded me of her. So I was like, no, you please take them. I don't want anything that reminds me of you. And then she's like, no, I can't take them, okay, because I'm moving in with flatmates and they have a no pet policy. And I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to do. So she moved out, and then the first few weeks were very weird because I would just sit in my apartment and they'd be sitting in their own corners. And the thing with cats is, okay, here's what happens is their relationship with you evolves over a period of time. It's not the same as it is with dogs. Sorry, like a dog's default setting is love. They're in love with everybody and everything. A cat's default setting is, who the fuck are you? Feed me. So it took a while for us to start vibing. So it in between all the fighting that I was having with my ex, and going through the whole breakup motions, I had Amber and Neo in the apartment with me, and I was still trying to figure out what to do with them, until one morning when I woke up on the bed and Neo was sleeping curled up on one side of me and Amber was sleeping curled up on the other side of me. And that's when I knew we were a family. So then I decided, I'm just going to keep them with me, it doesn't matter. And then we moved on. All three of us moved on with our lives. And then I think 2 years ago, but 2018, 2 years ago, I parked my car downstairs. We moved apartments since. I parked my car downstairs, and there was a tiny kitten under my car. And he came, I could hear him, and then he came following me around everywhere, and I was like, okay, what's going on? And I looked around to see if I could see his mom. There was no mother in sight. As I stood, then I started walking up towards the elevator. He followed me there as well, And I don't know if you ever seen a tiny kitten, but they have like the biggest eyes in the world, and they are eyes that you cannot say no to. So I was like, okay, we are doing this again now. So I got him upstairs. He was very naughty, a very naughty kitten. So I decided to name him Loki, and then we had to integrate Loki into our family. So when you have cats and you get a new cat, there's a whole system that you need to execute so that the old cats get familiar with the new cats and they don't kill each other. So you have to separate them for a week or so and then slowly introduce them. So I did all of that, and then Loki became part of our family. And then in the pandemic, now this would have been like 4 months ago, one of our friends got in touch with my lawyer and said that there are these two cats in our apartment complex that need a home, and is there any way do you want them, and stuff. And she had posted stories on Instagram and stuff, and they were very cute cats, but it's just that I already have 3, right? I have 3. I have 3, so I can't, like, 2 more would make me like I'll be the official crazy cat man, So we weren't sure. We were on the fence. We're like, okay, we don't know what to do. And then it's like, okay, let's think it over. And then a few days later, we got the news that one of those cats that was looking for a home was run over by a car, sadly. And these 2 cats were siblings. So, I mean, that really broke our heart. So in the next 10 minutes, we rushed to that apartment complex. And we had a look at that cat, and she is absolutely adorable. Okay, and I'm very apprehensive about adopting new animals because, like I said, with cats, they're very different. They all have like their own personalities and stuff. So it has to be a good fit. So we went and met her, and we liked her. So I said, okay, cool, let me go back and get the carrier. So I went back, got the carrier, and I remember putting the carrier down. I opened it, and within a second, this kitty just walks into the carrier and just sits down inside it as if to say like, हाँ मेरा Uber आ गया अभी चलो घर जाते. And it was the smoothest adoption we've done, So we got her home, and then when we let her into the apartment as well, she just walked around like she already knew the place, and she was just chilling. And yeah, again we went through the whole phasing in process with the other cats. And now, cut to today, I have 4 cats. Neo is the oldest, then Amber, and then Loki and Riga. So Neo and Riga. Neo is a thoroughbred Persian. Riga, I think, is a mix between a Persian and an Indie cat. And Amber and Loki are Indie cats. Now, if you're somebody who's considering getting a pet in a city, I definitely recommend cats. They are very affectionate. It just takes them some time, but when they do fall in love with you, it's the best thing ever. And all 4 of them, thankfully, they don't overwhelm us. With their neediness. Everyone has their own specific time and they want attention, and then the best part is they leave you alone. So if you're somebody who likes space, a cat is a perfect companion. Definitely adopt. You can reach out to shelters like World for All. They are constantly fostering cats as well as dogs that need homes. Indie is the way to go. Please do not encourage breeding. In fact, if you have an indie pet, it's even better because they have very high immunity. They are more robust. They have a more robust immune system, and they live longer than pedigreed animals. So yeah, that is my story of how I became a cat daddy. Wipe away your tears, guys. We are stronger than this. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up this episode. Don't go. Wait. I have a couple of things I want to tell you. I'm doing live shows again, November 15th in Mumbai and November 21st in Hyderabad. Check the ticket link in the description for all information about these shows. Follow me on Instagram for updates on other shows I'm doing. I will be doing some Zoom shows as well. So please buy tickets, come and have a good time. If you liked this podcast and you want to be part of this loving family that supports it, there's a pay as you like option as well. Just remember, every payment that comes in through this link goes back into the podcast. So basically, you're just paying to watch one more episode. So thank you so much to everybody who has been supporting the podcast with their money. Keep doing it. Okay. Don't forget to hit like on this video, comment, let me know what you thought about this episode, about the things we discussed. What are your thoughts on those things? And if there's something you want me to talk about in future episodes, again, type it out in the comments or hit me up in the DMs. Be as specific as possible. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't done that already. And if you are a fan of the podcast, if you're a fan of my work, please tell your friends about it. We need to get the word out and get more people in. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with a very special video that celebrates peace and harmony. My name is Daniel Fernandes. I'm going to see you next time. Goodbye.
Very good.